Hey guys, Sarah from Sweet Scents from the Dollhouse. If you're new to our channel, please smash that subscribe button and hang out with us here at the Dollhouse. Like this video, share with your friends, let them know what's going on, because I am showing you basically the process of how I made my own wax tarts company. Today is New Year's Eve. I think it's, what time is it? Oh my goodness, where's the time going? It's 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time as I film this today. You know, I've just been in the mood to clear out my space. You know, I'm not into that whole new year, new me. I'm still going to be the same asshole I was in 2019 and 2020. But I like to declutter my space, especially as we're starting to grow with Elle After. I am, much like all indie vendors, hand poured starting in my home. For the last week and a half, it's been the first time we've had our kitchen back since July. I hadn't had a functioning kitchen in almost 4 months because of pouring wax, and I'm not complaining. Actually, this 2 weeks has been nice because we had the kitchen back into a kitchen. We were able to entertain, have our friends and family here Christmas Eve, which was very nice. But I've been out of raw supplies, and that's the first time in 2 years that I haven't had wax or been able to pour and test, and I'm seriously getting the itch. It's crazy. I planned that, so if I don't have materials, I can't be pouring wax, I can't be testing, I can actually be present and spending time with my family. Love them to pieces, but I've had enough. I want to get back to it. So I'm super eager to pick up from my suppliers this week and get back into it. So if you follow my little diary Relics series, you'll notice that those videos were filmed a very long time ago. And I thought, what better day than New Year's to take a look back on how far we've come. So what I want to do is, in this video, as I was cleaning out the wax closet and my office, I found the book. This book went everywhere with me for that 22 months. And essentially what it was I do planners, right? So I'm not really crazy into the whole planners thing. Some of these are blank pages, but a lot of this contains my wax journey, the recipes, what I was testing, along with obviously what the kids are doing, doctor's appointments, things like that. But this book went everywhere with me. I think it's an 18-month planner. And in the back, I took a small business course, so there's tons of notes from the classes that I was in, tons of notes from meetings with my business advisor, statistics about the National Candle Association, and then we get to the very back, my favorite suppliers. For instance, this page is all about zucchini bread. I found a lot of crappy zucchini bread, fragrance oils, and then we get to the very back. And this was essentially my recipe book that went everywhere with me for 22 months as I was coming up with ideas, ratios, formulas, blends. And then I found this big mamma jamma box of testers. There's just, let's pull one off the top. This one. This is from my 34th pour, apples and cotton, and it says right on there, cure until December 2018. So this one was poured in late 2017. That's how long I've been doing this. So, and as you can tell, I can't for the life of me get this out of the scent shot cup. These are the testers that went to, oh, it's brittle and it's falling apart. This is what we had. We had like frosty, nasty, brittly soy blends. I'm going to take you through this, through the book, show you how far we came with our formula and some of let's face it, the ass wax that I was getting my testers to test. So that's what we're doing. We're flash forwarding to the future for Diary Relics and showing you how far we came, what we tested, what the ratios were, what we were using, and how we finally figured it out all in one video. Okay, so here it is. Oh, Ella. A big book of experiments. And just to show you, for example, this was 44, 45, and 46. It was a mixture of Love Spell plus vanilla lace. 2 ounces per pound, 1 ounce per pound, 2 ounces per pound. So same fragrance, but different ratios, different formulations, as well as different wax. 464 is just straight soy. This Pro blend was 50% soy and 50% paraffin. This was a 464 blend mixed with Millennium soy and stearic acid. And then this one, again, same fragrance, was pure soy, 444 mixed with 415 and a teaspoon of vegetable stearic. You'll also see that there's different ratios of 444 mixed with 2 ounces of 415. September would be the pour date. And then I would have different testers melt them a month later or 2 months later. It all varied. But essentially what I was doing was sending them the exact same fragrance or the exact same blend in different ratios, and they would tell me. So essentially I included the paraffin in the testing phase just so I had something to compare it to. I always had paraffin in one of them. That way they could tell me whether or not our formulation of like renewable resources by way of the soy wax was performing comparable to something with paraffin in it. And I did this throughout the course of 22 months and in various different ratios. And that's how we eventually came up with what we have now, which is the cocoa soy wax. And I will show you some of the really bad testers. Okay, so let's get into this box and see what we can find. Oh man, like there's just absolutely tons in here. So this one was number 44. As you can see, there's quite a bit of frosting in there. And that's very typical for soy candle makers. It's one of your difficulties is combating frosting, which essentially the frosting doesn't it doesn't do anything to the performance of the wax, but I don't know if you can see that based on the color. It's just not aesthetically pleasing. I also didn't want the wax to be crumbly. This is nice and hard. It would probably withstand higher temperatures for shipping in the summer. Let's see if we can find 44 on here. So yeah, 44. This was a combination of 464 wax plus the Pro blend. I apologize for Ella being crazy in the back. Ella, please knock it off. So this one does have a tiny bit of paraffin in it. And even with the paraffin, it was still frosting. You can control frosting with the temperature as well. It's a craft all in its own. Your pour temperature is very important for frosting. The temperature and humidity in the room in which you're pouring your wax has a lot to do with frosting. But again, this one, what number is this? 65. Apples and Ocean Breeze, cure until November 9th, 2018. So some of these cure dates, I wanted the testers to test them at different times. So some people would melt them, you know, 2 weeks after they were received or 4 months after they were poured. Look at that. That's a lot of frosting. And because of the color, you can tell See that white? It's essentially all frosting. You can use the heat gun and try and get that out, but that would be a substantial amount of work to have to heat all of your wax after you pour it, especially when you're doing large quantities, even the top of it. Like, yeah, that doesn't look so pretty. What was 65? 66? 65, some of these aren't in order. 65. 69, 70, 65 smells fantastic, but I can't find. Oh, yeah, that one was a blend of 444 and the Pro blend at 5 ounces of 444 and 4 ounces of the Pro blend. And it was still frosting. This is number 15, Milk and Cookies. Cure till April 1st, 2018. Frosting's not bad. Oh, it actually looks half decent. What was number 15? Oh, I can't believe that, like, I don't know. I used to have this preconceived or just misconception that soy wax would kind of like expire or lose its scent at the 1 year mark, but I mean, this is crazy, crazy, crazy strong, and it's well over a year old. Number 15 was Sugar Cookie Royale, Toasted Marshmallow, and Sugar Milk. So that was a pure soy tester. That's 464 in 3 ounces, which is soy, and 444 in 3 ounces, with 2 ounces of coconut wax. So, as you can see, I realized that when you put coconut wax in it, and I mean in small quantities, because coconut wax is so, so, so soft, you don't want to put too much coconut wax in and compromise, like the, how would you say, I don't know, the texture of it to a certain degree. But I learned very early on that coconut wax, when used in the right proportions, can really combat that frosting. Look at this bag of monstrosity shapes. This was lemon curd and afternoon tea. Oh, there's a combination. So there's 35 and 36 in here. There's 35. So 35 would have been a 464, which is pure soy, and then the Pro blend, which is the combination of soy and paraffin. And then I mixed it with the exact same fragrance oil, and it was just 444 and 415. Oh, and there's a Pro blend in there as well. So these ones all had a tiny, and I mean a tiny bit of paraffin in them. Let's see. I don't know if I can open this bag with one hand. Let's see if they're as strong as the ones that are just pure soy. Woo! Man, okay, that is super strong. Well over a year old. That is one of the craziest lemon tea scents I've ever smelled. We might have to keep that, but use it in our soy cocoa. Whew, that's strong. Number 66, Marshmallow Lavender Zucchini Bread. Cure until November 15th, 2018. Number 66. Okay, so this is just 444 with a combination of soy in it. And again, like this one, once you add the soy, the frosting is still there a teeny bit, but it's minimal. Yeah, it's nice and hard. I really, if you're ever interested in making wax tarts, I tried tons. I don't use 444 anymore, but if you're new to making wax tarts, try 444. I know everybody goes for 464, but I don't know. I had problems with 464. There's another number 15. When I started adding, oh, see? We also went through 10,000 different souffle cups, bags, like we had some really, like, could you imagine if I just ordered these, started these without testing it and sent these to my customers? Hot garbage. And these actually are from one of my favorite suppliers, but I don't buy my packaging from there, obviously. Learned my lesson. But again, look at how beautiful that is with the coconut wax, no frosting. Performance is what means the most to me, but I also I wanted them to look nice. And the coconut wax definitely did that. Some of the very first bags we were sent were these ones. This is test sample number 8. Another combination of Love Spell plus Vanilla Lace, cure until April 1st, 2018. This was when I was testing and putting way too much coconut wax in it. And it turns out I sent out, oh my goodness, at least 100 of these. And they aren't even real polypropylene bags. Or perhaps they're too thin because the scent dissipated so fast. My testers were like, I went to melt it in the time frame you told me to, and there was absolutely no scent left. So we definitely went through our bad batches, our horrible packaging. I still use these. Oh, look at the frosting on that one. I still order from this supplier because these are the best oval scent shots for the best price that I've found. Again, like, see, number 44, I was kind of sort of figuring out that frosting. Look at how bad these are. We have definitely come a long way. This one was so soft. I joked with my testers. I was like, oh, maybe I accidentally came up with the Scoopables formula and didn't even plan on it. Like, it's wicked soft. You just put your thumb right in there. Not quite Scoopables formula, but I'm like, maybe I discovered or I'm on to more of a Scoopables formula than I am a real wax tart. So, yeah, there is quite the monstrosity in here. But again, what I want to do with Diary Relics is actually melt some of this ass wax. Test it out and see how well it throws to kind of, I don't know, test the whole theory of whether or not soy or renewable waxes expire at the 1-year mark. So that's it. Stay tuned. I got lots more Diary Relics and info coming up for you, but this is basically how we started a long time ago, and we've come a really far way. Thanks so much for watching.